when we started hosting the high school students to give them a sort of experience of university life. We came up with the program that, okay, you come here, stay for a few days, experience the life. Because we think that it is our responsibility to make these students, the parents, ready.
Why not students from grade 9, 8, 9 and 10? Because they are also the budding leaders.
The resources that we have in place, we have to make sure that somebody who needs it urgently.
Any moment which you recall wherein a parent really complimented?
When he used to speak with the child, he will say, okay, I'll see, I have to go, I'll be doing this. The regular kind of questions. Now he puts a logic to what he's saying. If you're in Dubai and if you have not done things like desert safari or Dow cruise, then it's not a Dubai trip. Every day there will be some or the other fun element, in the program. So that's a wholesome experience. It's not only about your academic or only about studies. It's also about enjoying Dubai at the same time.
Hello viewers. My name is Ankita Puri. I'm the founder of Generation Alpha Education Services. And I welcome you all to this podcast channel of Generation Alpha. It is a great pleasure to have you all watching this yet another interesting episode because our guest today comes from a very strong educational background. Join me to welcome Mr. Ankur Kohli.
Thank you.
Who is the Assistant Director, Operations and Recruitment at Amity University, Dubai campus. Welcome, Ankur, and thank you for joining us on this podcast today.
Thank you, Ankita. It's a pleasure that you've invited me on this platform, and I'm very glad to be here.
Fantastic. So for my viewers who have joined this episode to learn a bit more about the educational diaspora, the educational system of UAE per se, and you being into this industry from a very long time, we will be taking deep insights into your experience and what you bring forward for the future aspirants to the Dubai campus.
Right.
So students who are aspiring to come to Dubai, they are definitely looking forward to this podcast. But before that, let us know a bit about you. So tell us who you are, what kind of a person are you, a little bit about you for us to understand Ankur Kohli as a person.
Okay, so I am in the higher education industry from last around 10 years, close to a decade you can say. And I've been, my professional experience ranges from higher education industry to back office, to operations of facilities management. And I have worked across a couple of major cities back in India, then in Abu Dhabi, and right now I'm in Dubai. That's pretty much about me. I'm a computers graduate. I've done my post-graduation in computers management.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Wow, so you come from a very versatile background, and especially being in... how long have you been with Amity so far? You closed it more than a decade now?
Amity, I'll be completing my 9 years pretty soon, So yeah, you can say almost a decade now.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Then you must have seen the developments happening, the progress happening across different zones there into Amity Dubai.
Not only in Amity Dubai campus, but, overall as a destination, I've seen... during my tenure itself, the way education industry, or rather, the institutions have changed and they have adapted to the world-class norms. And, definitely Dubai being, you can say now, aiming towards being the hub of education that way. So I've seen those kind of developments, and it's actually ever improving, I must say.
Lovely. I'm sure, because there are a lot of expats who are now aiming to send their, to retain their children who are studying in Dubai itself to go for the higher education within the universities here. And there's a lot of traction from students coming from outside UAE to study in Dubai. Talking about traction of students coming from outside UAE, Ankur, I also belong to this industry from a very long time now, and I have been observing your great work you have been doing in past. And of course, it's important for the audience to know about a very well-known academic camps program, which you are spearheading from the Dubai campus of Amity. tell our audience what is this academic camp all about, and what was that motivational factor which pushed you to launch it in Dubai?
Well, this one is something which is very close to my heart. This is something I can say it dates back to probably in 2018 or so. When we started hosting the high school students, to give them a sort of experience of university life. We identified that, there is a kind of gap, in between a student who's right now in high school, probably getting ready, gearing up for in a couple of years, will be joining a university. But at the same time, there's no practical exposure as to how the life could be once I am in any university, because you have stayed all your life in your home comforts. You have got your own room, you've got your own freedom, you've got your mom and dad to take care of you. You have a schedule as such, but then not necessarily you may or may not be following, and all of a sudden, one fine day, you land up, let's say, in a dormitory of a university wherein you don't know your roommates or you have a very different environment altogether. So, we've been observing that, these are few challenges which more or less everybody can face, not only a student as such, but even the parents, because the parents have been used to see their kids every day, getting them ready to go to school and all those things. And then even for them, it's like one fine day, fine. The child is right now in some other university, some other country. So that's where we thought about this, that how about, having a sort of a taster session, a kind of a, you can say a trailer or an experience wherein we as a university, why don't we offer them a kind of program wherein they come, they understand what the university is, what the professors or how the university life is, what kind of I must say, let's say the labs or those kind of workshops they can look forward to, what kind of residence arrangements happen when you are outside, how you have to adjust. These are very life learning skills as such.
But these are mostly in talks, and people believe in someone else's experience, like, pass outs of that college. How was your experience staying in a campus? How is the dormitory or the residence, you call it? So I think this is way beyond feeling it.
Exactly, because I'll tell you, in university, we do make sure that, the prospective students or the parents, if they want to know how exactly my child would be studying or what are the options or how is the environment per se, altogether. So we do arrange, let's say, sometimes the talks with existing students or the alumni, and also that they can get a feeler like how it is. But like I said, anybody would want to go for an experience, if it is available like that. Amity University Dubai has a wonderful campus, by the way. We have a very secured environment. The campus itself hosts not only the academic blocks, not only the labs, but also all the sporting facilities or the student residences, all within the secured campus. And that's when we thought about that, okay, have these high school students, you can term it as a sort of, from my end, as a corporate social responsibility also. Because we think that it is our responsibility to make these students, the parents, ready, because the student is going to join some of the other universities someday, for sure. So we take it as our responsibility as well. We came up with the program that, okay, you come here, stay for a few days, experience the life. And like I said, and it helps you in better even deciding about your future. Like,
lovely. But what category of students are we talking as? You said high school students.
Yeah.
And by experience, we all know, we are parents and we know how it goes. When a child is in grade 11, 12, or is in AS or A levels, the amount of responsibility to studies, the commitment is so high that isn't it a bit challenging for them or to come for such an academic camp and lose out on your 7 or 10 days, whatever the duration is? Or do you think that this is an investment of time rather than a waste of time? What do you think?
I'll rather say, it's a good fusion because, see, a child in a grade 11 or 12, with my experience I'm talking about, that must have definitely thought about that this is what I have to do. But then in many cases we have seen that they may want to do what they want to do, but they may not be having a clear picture about it. Like, I'll quote it in an example way. Let's say a child wants to become or do something in forensic science, which is a very unique niche study. But there is definitely a possibility he or she may have not even seen a forensics lab in the life, for example, or probably maybe having a very limited knowledge about how exactly forensics can be such a vast and a good field of study, that way. I'm sure there's a possibility this child may have never even kind of interacted with any forensic science expert. So these are the things, what you want to do, you might as well want to come experience it yourself firsthand. So that it gives, it further cements your decision that, yeah, okay, fine, what I've thought about is definitely a good thing.
Interesting.
Or it might be that, okay, fine, once you are in that environment, in the setup of the university, and it may so happen that, okay, fine, I was thinking about the forensic science. However, I think I'm more fit for biotechnology. Why? Because I ended up communicating with the professor. I did my couple of workshops over there. I ended up, playing with the gadgets and seeing, okay, how the thing works and all. And looks like that, let me deviate a bit. This is where I should be aiming for.
Oh, so you mean to say when these students are exposed to such workshops, you have seen instances in past wherein they have diverted to a different stream altogether or as their career. Any example, interesting example, which for our audience who are listening to us right now?
See, I wouldn't use the word diversion over here, because like I said, more than brainwashing, I am of the opinion that it should further cement your decision, that way. So when I say that, then I'm talking about this, I'm exposing you to not only one, but there's a possibility that you might be a good fit for another 2 or 3. So that you have a better calculative decision in life. It's not all about that, okay, fine, once you are ready for the university, you have to join my university. It's about this, that you are going to join some university. Whatever course and whichever university you are looking for or aiming for, are you ready for it? Are you sure that's the best fit? Why? Because there is a possibility there is something even better. I've seen examples. I definitely won't be able to quote 1 or 2. There are many wherein, therein where not only the students, even the parents have understood that, yes, for example, very recently concluded one, a student and the parent, they themselves got convinced that looks like that my child is a good fit to take up law as a subject. Because when the student attended the workshop of law and understood how what's the future of it, what's the importance of knowing law, and how in that as a career she can accelerate further, the way they articulated and the workshop went and everything. So they have made up their mind that, okay, fine, this is what I want to do. Because she was a little bit in two minds. Peer pressure at times happens that, okay, my friends want to, yes, my friends are going for this. I may want to go for that or this one, I'm confused. But ultimately, when she attended a couple of workshops, out of which she said, okay, fine, this is the one that I'm looking for. And even the parents were convinced that, yes, the kind of guidance that she got, the kind of workshops that she attended, the role plays and all, what they do during
No,
this
I
things.
want to allow me to pause you here because now you're talking something very, very interesting. You mentioned that this kind of a program, residential program, if I may call
Yes.
it, is meant to give exposure which is outside the classrooms. And there are many theoretical elements which they tend to experience inside the state-of-the-art lab structure which Amity Dubai has.
Yes.
Question here is, you have to now tell us what kind of workshop, let's zoom in. What
Okay.
kind of workshops are we referring to? Because it's a very vast word. But for parents and for students, who are listening to us, help us to visualize what workshops are we referring to? How does a typical program looks like?
Okay. So like I said sometime in the beginning that, we are conducting these residential programs for students who are in grade 11 and 12, for example. which means, like I said earlier, this is the age wherein one day he wants to become a scientist, next day probably a lawyer, third day could be a computer engineer. So it's a very, that kind of age wherein you have multiple factors affecting you.
Totally, yes.
Okay. So kind of workshops that we have over here, let me put it in this way, that the flow of the program, the most recent one which concluded last month, we kept it in such a way that the first half of the day would be multiple workshops that they will be attending.
Okay.
So workshop could be, let's say day one, you will be having your first workshop of forensic sciences, wherein you become a crime scene investigator.
Interesting.
So the professor will supervise the whole scenario, wherein, a situation will be created. You are a crime scene investigator. You will be donning the jackets and everything like that. You're on the spot. You'll be doing the sample collection, evidence collection,
Oh, okay.
taking that stuff and then examining it under those equipments, which, like I said, are top class. And then you will be resolving the mystery over there.
Wow.
So the entire group probably will be into, what do you call? It'll be divided in two teams. So, okay, let's see which team is able to.
So it's a practice-based workshop you're referring to.
Absolutely.
And child can be
it's
from
not only,
STEM. Okay.
It's not only practice, it's like fun.
Absolutely, yes.
Because you are totally now immersed into that kind of experience that, okay, fine, it's me and my team which has to solve the crime right now. So with the assistance of the professor and the lab assistants available, they will be guided, okay, fine, we have this collection of evidence, let's scan it underneath this microscope or that machine. I mean,
So it's a properly guided
properly
workshop,
guided
you mean
one.
to say.
Exactly, yeah. And while all this is happening, it becomes a very interactive session. Why? Because while this is happening, obviously the students will be having their own set of questions.
Correct.
The answers will be flowing in from our side. And that's how, during these conversations, it kind of start getting clear in your mind as a student that, okay, fine, looks like I'm a good fit for it. Then you move on to, let's say, your second workshop. Once this is done, there could be students who are interested in hospitality industry, for example.
Okay.
So we have one workshop on, let's say, the same day or day two, which will be like, cook your own lunch sort of thing. Wherein you are in the sort of industrial kitchen setup. Our hospitality lab is having all those equipments which you typically may find in a good, hotel. So that's where they end up, under the supervision of our head chef, cooking their own, again, making it a very interactive and fun environment sort of.
Lovely.
Moving on, somebody, let's say, would be interested in fashion designing.
Okay.
So the third workshop would be this. By the way, everyone is required to be in all these workshops.
Oh, it's mandatory.
It's mandatory. And, there's a reason also. Yes, the reason being, let's say, forensics. Once this forensic workshop happen, the obvious course of action is that probably it will be going to the code of law. So that's where the law workshop is, wherein you do the, like I said, articulation of your case. You have to convince somebody over there. So that's how you learn your presentation skills. That's how you will be probably applying all your convincing skills or communication skills over there. Somebody who will be sitting at the jury's desk will have to apply the logic, whom I should say guilty or not guilty kind of thing.
Okay.
That way. So like this hospitality one, you will be moving out and staying on your own some or the other day in some or the other university. You should love cooking, like,
to survive.
to survive.
Yeah.
So,
Just in case you complain
exactly.
about hostel food.
Yes, then, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Then there could be a set of entrepreneurs in the same, group of students.
Okay.
So our incubation workshop talks about that. By the way, we have a very good incubation center in our campus.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's quite an exhaustive workshop you're referring here, because if you ask me, if I hear you out, and especially the viewers are also hearing you out, the details shows that isn't it like a complete transformative experience for them?
Indeed. That's why I'm saying, you should rather, fuse it with your 11th and 12th studies, which is ongoing, because you cannot ignore the fact that it's only a matter of probably a year or two that you will be joining university.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this is totally, focused on one thing, that get ready, be prepared. you know,
Holistic development, not
holistic
just academic,
development.
but life skills.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I sometimes ask them, questions that, so how was your experience?
Okay.
Okay, and sometimes I get very interesting answers. If I have to say it diplomatically, technically they sound very funny. Like one of the student I still remember said that, so I know that if I'm joining a university, I have to make sure that there is a possibility the roomie I share my room with might end up snoring. So you can imagine, these are the kind of experiences which probably you can not get anywhere else unless you are in it,
That's
sort
so
of.
true.
Yeah.
But then I have a question here. Why not students from grade 9, 8, 9, and 10? Because they are also the budding leaders. They're not that far in taking decisions in their life. Of course, it's subject selection which comes first, then comes your higher education. So do you have this program, does this accommodate students from mid school as well at times, or never? Something you want to
See,
share?
not that we have not, but yeah, you will understand one thing that, with the resources that we have in place, we have to make sure that somebody who needs it urgently, I'll say, they should be catered first. But yeah, I'm not refusing that way. Definitely, we have plans to even expand it. And we do have entertainment, by the way.
Okay, wonderful. So when you say expansion, I know initially this program could only accommodate summer schools, and this program was meant to be hosted in
Yes.
summers. But by your under your leadership and the entire ecosystem support you have back in the university, now it's into winter camps and also in spring camps. And I'm sure, with my limited knowledge, these academic camps are more recursive in terms of numbers.
Exactly. So now these immersive camps, the whole thought process of the leadership is that we have to kind of come up with something in regular business lingo. We call it a 52-week calendar sort of thing. So
Okay.
so it's like we should not restrict it to a summer.
Okay.
Because thankfully the students have enjoyed the camps so far. I'm in touch with our summer camp alumni, yeah.
Oh, that's a
And
good term.
yes,
I'm hearing it for the first
yes,
time.
yes.
Lovely.
And they are connected with me, and they have, kind of recommended it so much that we have started. In fact, we have started not only looking at but designing at. So you will be seeing that, we will expand it further to do. If I have to name it through, the seasons, so then winter, fall, autumn, everything will be
Around
covered.
the year. that
Around
means.
the
So
year,
you're going to
exactly.
curate it that way.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So which brings me to another level of question related to this. Where is this audience coming from? Is this is this group of students which you're referring are from UAE, or are they coming from outside UAE as well? Want to share some inputs on that?
So we have students coming from different countries.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I have in my camps students definitely from UAE, from India, from Azerbaijan, Zimbabwe, Russia, US, Lebanon, Indonesia. I mean, these are few of the countries, Sri Lanka, I can recall right now.
Well, that's quite an international setup.
Exactly. Yes, it is. And that's the reason, like I said, this is one more factor that the student gets an international exposure sort of thing. I mean, your professional networking, think about it, that this is the time when they have to get into all this. Yeah.
So there's a possibility that a child from any CIS country is in a camp wherein students have come from India
Oh, yes.
and from UAE.
Yes.
So it's like
Yes.
they're turning global citizens by default.
By default, because the thing here is that a student who has come from, let's say, UAE, for example, may end up sharing his room with another student who may have come from Azerbaijan.
Oh, okay.
So that's how, it becomes a global program kind of thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So how was the response initially? Because I'm sure the way I'm hearing you out doesn't look very easy and a piece of, cake to walk through. How was the initial response when you launched this in the year you mentioned some time back?
See, with the 100% encouragement assistance from, my top leadership and all, we have been only doing better year by year. Like if I have to roll back to that year of to 2018 and all, the kind of numbers that were at that point of time to now, if numbers is a way of judging how is the response, probably I'll say 10, 20 folds, so, but more than that, it's like the experience, the fact that I'm still in touch with all of those students and they are regularly getting in touch with me. They are now across, a couple of them have, joined some other university, some of them are this, some are in Amity University. So it's like, they are in touch with me, and that says about the fact that, they really enjoyed it.
So your pool of students are increasing.
Yes.
Initially it was countable and now it's uncountable on scale.
No, we do
Yeah.
keep account of each and every one who comes because that's my prime responsibility.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
But then when you do this, when you execute this, do you also strongly believe that such academic camps are creating a bridge towards higher education admissions within Amity also? Why not?
Yeah.
So do you think this is certainly working out for you?
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, we always think about this, that is our responsibility as well. As an institute, as a well-known, respected brand in the sector, it is our responsibility that we have to think beyond what we are doing day to day. And definitely, it's a bridge not only between that, but also we feel satisfied that we have been doing something for the community also.
Okay. Any experience or any dialogue or any moment you remember from any of the parent who might have got emotional seeing their children surviving for these 7 or 10 days without them and fully disciplined and not even missing out on their, the pen or the belts or the socks and the shoes? Because when these students, when they are left alone then they are assumed that they're not going to be so careful about their belongings, but the way you are telling me that it's a holistic development, I'm sure the children are taking care of small little things and their time management, be it participation. So any moment which you recall wherein a parent really complimented and said something very good about it?
I recently received a call from a parent, and he ended up actually expressing his heart out by saying, thank you so much. Because now when he speaks about what he has to do, career-wise, when he talks, they are more mature talks and all that.
Oh, okay.
So that's something which he felt good. He was saying that earlier when he used to speak with my child, as in when he used to speak with the child, he will say, okay, I'll see, I have to go, I'll be doing this, the regular kind of questions. Now he puts a logic to what he's saying.
Okay.
So I said, okay, thank you so much. And definitely, it's not only about those 6 or 7 days. I'm there, university is there. Anytime, you just, we are just a phone call away.
Wonderful.
Or you can just drop a WhatsApp or whatever it is, just let me know. And the child is still connected with me. In fact, just to let you know, just before this podcast, there was a message from him, which I'm yet to read.
Wonderful. So that's a beautiful observation, I should say, that they are becoming more learned
That's
decision
exactly,
makers.
because they are now putting logic to what they're speaking.
But tell me one thing. You invite them for this workshops, and of course, these are engaging workshops. And since they're dealing it for the first time, they are really excited. But is it all about learning? There is any moments of fun they have other than the workshops? What they do rest of the day?
Absolutely, because the way I speak with any prospective student or parent, especially for these camps, I tell them it's a sort of learning holiday. Take it this way, because it's not only Dubai. People from across the world, you can expect them to be a part of this camp. So let's say if it is a 7 days camp, the first half of every day is towards academic.
Okay.
So let's say till 3:30 p.m. or so, they are engaged with their workshops, or speaking with the professors and all those things. 5 p.m. onwards is when the so-called excursion fun begins.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So excursions are a part of this.
Excursions are definitely a part
Very
of it.
nice.
So we make sure that if you're in Dubai and if you have not done things like
Exactly.
desert safari or Dow cruise, then it's not a Dubai trip.
Exactly.
So every day there will be some or the other fun element, in the program. So one day they can go for Dow cruise, the other day for a limousine ride, desert safari, or visiting the JBR or the Frame, Dubai Frame.
Yeah, so all those spots which are mandatory to
yes,
be done
yes,
when
yes,
you are
absolutely,
in Dubai.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
then-
that's a wholesome experience. It's not only about your academic or only about studies. It's also about enjoying Dubai at the same time.
wow.
And more or less every night when they're back, then we organize, since it's a residential one, so you are in the student residences. So we organize probably a talent night or a movie night or just, some sort of
So that's a team
game
bonding
night
they
kind
do.
of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
We
okay.
we have a beautiful sporting facility, so they can play, let's say, football in the night under the floodlights. So those kind of things,
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So that means these are all, since it's a safe and secure campus, which is always under supervision.
Yes.
So children have that freedom of playing in the fields late night. Because I'm sure after this long day of learning and excursions, children love to play. They love to be
That's
on
actually
field.
their stress buster. We
Exactly.
might think that, okay, fine, where is my bed? We'll hunt for it. Not with them.
Yeah.
That's where they need that kind of at least another half an hour, 45, 1 hour of time
Okay.
to either go for a football game or for badminton. And yeah, like you said, it's a very secured campus, and Ashwood, it's always under the supervision of some
So
of the other
these
security
facilities are
officers.
within the campus premises
Yes,
itself.
yes,
So that's
absolutely.
okay.
Everything under
Okay.
supervision and within the
Within
campus
the campus
premises.
premises. Okay, so that's also quite a valuable input you're providing, especially when we talk about parents' concern that it's
Absolutely,
already
yes.
11 o'clock in Dubai and
Yes.
my child is still out.
Yes.
How out? How
Yes.
far are you from
Yes.
your dorm? So they
Yes.
should know they're just at the ground floor in the field.
Right.
Within
No,
the
I can tell you
campus.
one thing, that all these camps, we make sure that every minute when the activities are going on, there is somebody or the other from my team supervising it.
Okay.
It's always under the supervision of somebody from my side, so like that.
My God, after talking to you so deep and learning so much about it, I'm just wondering why this facility was not there when I was in school or a college for
There's
that.
something big time which you, me, and people from our era have actually missed. Looks like, yeah.
But that's a wonderful thing you're doing. We are almost towards the end of our episode today, but what is that one piece of advice you want to give to the aspiring students? And I would advise here, allow me to do that considering that students who are in grade 8 and 9 are also aspiring for
Yes.
such exposures
Right.
at an early age. So what is that one piece of advice you want to give to students who are listening to you today and they've already started thinking about it?
So for all these students and the age groups that you have mentioned, what I can personally feel at this point of time with my experience is that, start looking into experience and experiential stuffs. To be very honest, we have seen that your studies can happen online also during COVID. We all went through that era, right?
Yeah.
So right now, what we have to see is whatever I'm studying, I need to keep looking for an opportunity where I can put it to some sort of hands-on experience. So that's one advice I'll be strongly giving to everyone who will be listening to this thing, that look for these kind of camps, look for these kind of opportunities wherein you get to probably spend some hours or days of your life doing hands-on experience what you have been taught all this while.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of this podcast. So viewers, it was a very deep insight on how these academic camps can build up our students, our children holistically. The experiential learning they consume while they are a part of this 7 days or 10 days program brings a development which is going to help them to live, grow, and survive lifelong. So if you are one of the parent who wants to send your children for such an academic camp, take the first step forward, start inquiring. And if you're a student watching our podcast today, and if you think this discussion rings a bell, then you know what you have to do. Go ahead, discuss with your parents, and step up to experience what other children have been doing so far. I would like to say thank you once again to Ankur.
Pleasure's all mine.
You have been an amazing speaker, and it was amazing talking to you
Thank
today.
you so much.
I wish you all the best for
Thank
your
you.
future plans of expanding academic camps and, of course, bridging it to admissions.
Sure. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for coming today.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
Thank you.